What's up, Gloomers? Crimson Scales is here, and we finally got our hands on it and played a few scenarios. So I want to talk about the experience for just a little bit. If you are interested in watching Crimson Scales, we will be streaming it on Thursday nights, so consider subscribing just so you can get the notification. One of the things I really liked about Crimson Scales, and it's just, I missed new scenarios. I missed flavor text. I missed being able to go into a campaign not knowing what's going on and like, where does this lead? So having fresh new content is wonderful. So if you've been looking for like, I want to play more Gloomhaven, but not just Gloomhaven again with the same scenarios. Oh my god, that feeling is back and I love it. So first off, start there. I'm so happy that we have that feeling back again, at least for me. The only thing I'm critical of is the pacing's a little slow at first, requiring you to do 3 semi-complex. They're not super complex, but scenarios all with some mechanics and medium length before you actually figure out where things are going. So the Dark Lake is a super fun scenario. You get to introduce, first off, water spirits, a new monster that's specific to Crimson Scales, and you get to, first off, just play your new classes. And being able to jump into a new class that I hadn't played before, that's great. I love having to figure out, first off, during a cycle, how to get the most out of it. And especially a class that relies on 4 elements was just so much fun for me to juggle. All right, I need to have these cards saved so I can infuse them here in this order. And then during certain rest cycles, I knew which abilities I could use, which ones had to be saved for things. Like, I'd always want to, like, you know, stun or curse as often as possible, but ultimately I found that most rest cycles I couldn't actually set that up. But I did find the ability to have area effect attacks or multi-wounds pretty readily accessible. And some of my friends, in this case I was paired with Ginny and Cliff, ended up playing the Mirefoot and Chieftain, and I just enjoyed that a lot. Seeing the Chieftain, which is one of the classes I saw in its very early stage. I actually can't even remember what it was initially called, but I know they split it into 2 classes between that mechanics and the Bombard. And I'm glad we have the Chieftain now, because this is the mount mechanic, the ability to create all these summons, even though, like, oh no, some of them died, and then be able to resurrect and get some of them back. It was just fun to play with and just see, have all these little things on there, have a little crab going forward, doing its little light show with all its elements. So it's like a crab rave, which I'm super excited about, but being able to get through the Dark Lake, and then having this little intro where you're trying to figure out, first off, what's this relic you need to be retrieved? And I'm actually intrigued with the plot already. We've finally got to, after the 3rd scenario, we've met a mysterious figure. I don't want to spoil too much, but ultimately you meet this person who's employed you, and there's a mysterious benefactor. Who's this person that wants this? Why did they have to send you? And now you've earned a position within the Crimson Order and the ability to get more jobs, which is going to ultimately lead the plot down to who knows where. But I'm excited. The scenarios aren't just kill all enemies, even the scenarios that are just kill all enemies. You get a couple kill all enemies, but they're like, there are this mechanic, and when you step on this, there's this ability, and you have to do this to unlock doors. So the figuring out, when do I want to do the pressure plates, and learning new monsters like the water spirit, made at least the first couple scenarios very interesting. And then a wonderful soft enrage built into the 3rd scenario, being able to fill the whole room with water, and then ultimately, if the room does get full of water, everyone loses. Oh no! Luckily though, we were ready for that, and we did a large amount of burst damage, and that scenario we ended up finding fairly easy. However, now that we've returned back to Gloomhaven, I'm pretty excited. I think that between the new classes, the new story, and not only that, but learning new monsters and getting on just this wonderful new narrative with all these events, I'm very excited for what is to come. I also want to go into the fact that this box has so much integrity to it, like in terms of like fan-made content. I've seen some fan-made content for various games that people have like contributed, and they're like, hey look, do this, or like print it out of your own volition and like do it yourself, or like, hey, I found these things online, and a lot of it falls short. I had medium expectations because I knew BG613. I've seen some of the project already, and so I was at least aware of it, and I liked a lot of it, so I was at least excited. But I can't overstate how not only professional the box looks and the contents, just how well everything's put together. The narrative, the story writing, and where we're going, I'm engrossed in it. I'd like to figure out what's going on, who are these people, and what are their motives. And just the whole book, everything it feels good, to hold. It doesn't feel flimsy, and just from everything, even from the tangible to the intangible, just feels good. So from just a glimpse of playing for this for only a handful of hours, I can say I'm super stoked to be playing more, and I hope other people consider watching us. We should hopefully be getting your copies semi-soonish. Thank you to BoardGame613 for doing this. Thank you for all the guest designers as well. And thank you to our wonderful patrons. As per usual, you guys are amazing. Thank all of you for watching.
Okay. You are unaffected by terrain if you go before or after me.